Hello, everyone. This is Tarot with Titania, and I'm coming to you from Cortez Island. Hi. I am bringing you the reading of the week for August 5th to the 12th, 2022. And without further ado, this will probably be a shorter video just because of the limits of technology on the road. Let's get started. I invite you to close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths with me, pull yourself into this present moment, and let's begin. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I am here with all of your children listening now and in the future to this recording for the energy of the week from August 5th to the 12th, 2022. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening to be present and facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible and for the greatest good of all concerned. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around me, creating around me and around you, wherever you are, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of beauty, of healing, of transformation, and peace across time and space. Wherever you are part of that light, circle of light. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies is welcome to go now. Okay, and without further ado, let's get started. I'll have to take a picture of my setup. Well, maybe or not. You may hear other voices in the background. I'm in a wonderful provincial park called Smelt Bay, and there are other people around, so you might hear stuff going on in the background. The people next door have just pulled up to set up their camp, so it's live and exciting, people. All right, so Creator, what is it that we most need to know this week for our personal and collective highest and greatest good, so we may be of best service in our life together? Here we go. The energy of the past and how it influences. So we have the card of nightmare, the 9 of swords. So this card is always a reminder that when we are having a nightmare, we think it's real. We think that's what's true. We believe that. We breathe heavy. We are cry out in our sleep. It's a nightmare is very, very, very real and tangible. But then we wake up and we realize it was just a dream. So the energy of this card, the awareness that we need to be bringing from it to our present and into our future is this awareness that if we feel like we're living in a nightmare, or if we feel that things are not going the way we need them to, we need to take a larger perspective. We need to wake up, so to speak, from the nightmare, take a deep breath, get as broad and as wide as possible, and understand that we in our human form are very limited and small and can't understand everything. We need to relax and let go to the broader, wiser part of us, and trust that everything is serving our good and the collective good. So how do we take that deep breath? We just do. In this moment, right here, right now, take that deep breath. Drop down into your beautiful body. Be here now and let your heart guide you. In every moment, you know what is most appropriate and right for you. That's where you take your guidance from. That's where you go from. That's where you head out into the world from, is that place. And that's what we need to remember going forward this week, is the wisdom of that. Knowing that our wisdom and our truth is within us, our inner compass is within us. That's how we need to operate from in this crazy world as it changes and shifts and things become uncertain. We need to just keep coming back to what is certain, which is within our hearts. The present card, we have the card of 4 of Pentacles, possessiveness. Again, we've seen this one recently. This is a state of contraction, of being smaller than we really are. This is fearfulness dominating our actions and our way of being. So here we have this person clutching her precious jewels to her chest, looking furtively around. There's this fear that somebody's coming to get her stuff. And I think we need to just be mindful of our own energy set and headspace. You know, who are we being? How are we being in the world? And can we be more expanded? Can we get into that broader, wiser state of wisdom that is who we really are, and not contract? Of course, as human beings, said it before, I'll say it again, we are human. It's what we're here to be and do and have this experience, this glorious human experience. And so we aren't always going to be as large and as wide and as broad as we'd like to be. But when we catch ourselves, that's our opportunity to take that deep breath once again, come back to you, come back to your wisdom, come back to the broader, wiser part of you. Pull more of that broader, wiser part of you into the field of your humanness right here, right now, so you can respond in a good way. But just this is our reminder this week. If you're feeling contracted, just notice it. It's okay. Take a deep breath and expand outward. You're bigger than this. We're all bigger than this, and we chose to come here at this time to be beacons of light and love on the planet. So yeah, we don't have all the solutions. We don't necessarily have all the answers. It's not possible. We're co-creating them as humanity. But as humanity rises, the more we hold peace and beauty and love and expansion, the easier it is for humanity to expand in beautiful and good ways. And your good part does a lot to serve the collective. Never forget it. The near future, the card of completion, the Four of Wands. Another 4. So 4 is very stable as a number. It's kind of very grounded. Doesn't go too far. Very earthy. The Four of Wands, as I said, the name of the card is completion. We have this husband and wife, or this man and this woman, and they're standing back to back, yin and yang. He's in white, she's in black, and they hold the energy of the color, the symbolism of the whole. In everything there is light, in everything there is dark. It's all perfect. And they're standing under this beautiful fruiting tree, and there are birds, and there are rays of sunlight, and the energy lines are very, very stable. And so there's this calling to us to hold the balance, to hold the polarity within us, understanding once again that even though we on a human level may not understand, we are part of this greater collective unfolding. We're here on purpose at this time, and there is an underlying structure and harmony that underlies this whole living creation. And we can trust that. We can rely on that. We can be present to that. And then what we need to do is stand in harmony back to back, supporting each other, drawing out from each other the best, being kind, being supportive, being collaborative and co-creative and inspiring each other. This is the card. Wands are about creativity, inspiration, and passion. So this is about really calling each other into our passion, into our joys, and helping each other to express and bring that forward at this time, supporting each other in our good work. So this is a lovely card. It's what we're moving towards. And this energy of yes, we can fall into the contraction, we can get fearful, we can be small, or we can take that deep breath and we can expand, and we can be a clearing for more of the good and the inspiration and the support, relaxing into trusting the greater expansiveness and structure of the universe. The foundation card for this week, we have the card of illusions, the Seven of Hearts. So just being really mindful. The Seven of Hearts here is talking about being, it's interesting because to me, I see there's like a parallel here, but it's being overwhelmed with that which isn't yours. There's a lot of information that's coming at us all the time on the planet. Our media, social media, whereas back in the time of Napoleon, there was something, I read something once about there being the amount of information that people took in one newspaper one day in the 80s was the equivalent of a whole year of information back in the time of Napoleon. And you can only imagine how much more that's accelerated now. So we are constantly bombarded with information. And if we're not deliberate and intentional about it, it's very, very, very easy to go into anxiety and overwhelm. So I would encourage you to be very deliberate about what you're bringing into your consciousness. And that's even on a recreational level, really choosing things that elevate your spirit and bring you to a place of greater well-being and peace, because you're feeding your consciousness. It's important to realize that we are constantly feeding our consciousness, and what are you feeding it with? So if you listen to mainstream media and the news, you may be feeling more fearful than the person who doesn't listen to those things. So just a suggestion, if you really need to hear about it, usually people tell you, but just being aware that conscious choice about what you're putting in your conscious field is very important for you having the balance and the grounding and the presence that you need to get on with what you need to do, rather than being distracted by all these other stories, all this other emotional stuff going on, all these other angles. It's not yours if it's not in your immediate life. And so, yes, we are all part of the collective, but our best way to serve the collective is to be peaceful, happy, grounded, and fulfilled in our immediate environment. doing our best to be in service in our life right here, right now, in each other's experience. There's a lot of stuff going on the planet, and we can certainly support through our money and volunteering, etc. But just remembering that right here, right now is where the difference is, not by listening to the news. There's nothing virtuous that you're doing by listening to or exposing yourself to things that are traumatic or instill you with fear. Whatever knocks you off center at this point, I would recommend that you maybe just notice that and then decide, is that really what you want to have in your field? And is it really serving your greater good? So that's the foundation card this week, is this card of illusion. Why we're having the reading is just being mindful of the illusions that we're surrounded by and the illusions that we expose ourselves to and that we choose to believe, because ultimately it all comes down to choice. Where are you putting your attention? So I think that's pretty clear, these cards for the week. Just staying conscious, staying mindful about where our attention, our energy, and our focus is going. Taking that breath to get into our broader, wiser perspective. Cutting ourselves some slack if we don't see the whole picture, because nobody can. It's in the process of unfolding. All we can do is be right here, right now, breathing well, bringing our broader self forward, and doing our part to make the world more beautiful right where we are, sharing our gifts, sharing our light, being a source of joy and well-being and comfort to others as we all move together through this time of transition. Okay, and with that, let's pull our card to grow on. Okay. All right, Creator, what is our card to grow on? What do we need to carry forward from today to support us in the coming week, so we can be a clearing for more beauty, more joy, more love, more kindness, and help to bring forth the world that we long for in our hearts, where we're all seen, all recognized, all loved and adored and supported into our greatest and highest unfolding. That truly, truly is an inspiring vision, one that I know many of us can get behind. So our card to grow in this week, for our highest and greatest good, to bring forth our best, Creator. What is it that we need to know? And once again, we have the card of pruning, or force, as it's called in my deck. But this energy of new beginnings on the level of ideas and action. Just that fresh start, and the fresh start that we give ourselves when we clean up that which is extraneous and no longer serving us. So wrapping up loose ends, cleaning out the closets, reducing our energy in terms of where's our energy going, and being very deliberate, applying our attention, our will, and our attention to what it is that we're doing. Excuse me, so that we can be clearer and more focused and freer. This is about liberating our bandwidth and our energy so that we can be really clean and clear and do what we need to do in a good way in the world. So our card to grow on this week is the card of pruning. Let's cut away all the dead, diseased, and crossing branches in our lives and prune our life so that we have more light and air circulating and more beauty and support for the good, helping us to grow in good ways. Again, a little bit like we were just talking about, pruning our lives of unnecessary distraction, unnecessary things that drain our energy, things that make us fearful, things that make us small, really giving our attention to cleaning that up so that we are deliberate where our consciousness is going, because our consciousness is ultimately taking us where we want to go personally and collectively. And when we become the master of that rather than the unwilling participant or the unconscious participant, we transform our lives and the lives of the collective, because more and more of us, as we become conscious, we impact the consciousness level of the collective. So, by being deliberate and intentional in your life and taking mastery over your attention and your focus and your will and where you're putting it, you are helping to change humanity at large. It's a very good thing. Well, my friends, with that, I wish you a beautiful week, and I will be back hopefully next week. I'm away for 2 weeks, and I'm actually going to be paddling next week, so it might be a little trickier to get this message out, but I will do my best. And in the meantime, I wish you much ease and peace in pruning your life and transforming where you're putting energy and attention so that you can be more deliberate and enjoy your life more and feel freer and cleaner and clearer and more aligned with the truth that you are here to experience and express in the world. Creator, I want to thank you for the opportunity of this reading. I want to thank all those who helped to hold the space today. Much love and light to all of us. May we continue to rise and shine beautifully. Lots of love, everybody. Bye for now. Have a great week.